Welcome back, everyone, to TV5 News at 9. It is a moment many across Bay City and Mid-Michigan have been waiting for. Liberty Bridge is reopening to the public. So joining us this morning, we have Lynn Pavlak, General Manager with Bay City Bridge Partners. And it is so good to see you again. And thanks for coming in and telling all the interesting and informative information.
Well, it's great to be back, Blake. I enjoy coming here and talking to you as well as the community just to let them know what we're doing and all the great things that are happening.
And I'll just say this before we get started. I've had people reach out to me saying, thank you so much for having Bay City Bridge Partners on your program because I learned so much. So, Lynn, this is a long time coming. What exactly can people expect?
So the grand opening is happening today. It is going to happen at 2 o'clock this afternoon. And hopefully Mother Nature works in our favor, but we are going to celebrate. You know, Liberty Bridge is Bay City built. There is many local unions that have spent more than 120,000 man-hours working on this project in all kinds of weather. And some of the toughest supply chain times in history, as well as we started this project on December 21st of last year. So typically, roughly 1 year it is taking us to do the complete rehab of Liberty Bridge. So we are super excited. In terms of the grand opening itself, just if you don't mind, I'll go into a little bit of detail. But we're going to have the people who have pre-registered. So we've had several vehicles that have pre-registered by making a donation to the Salvation Army of Bay City or the Disability Resource Service Center in Bay City. They've made a $20 donation to be a part of the procession, the very first ride across the new Liberty Bridge.
Nice.
Bay City Bridge Partners is also donating $1,000 to each of those charities as part of this event. We're going to have the cars line up on the west side, and we'll have the bascules in the open position. So in the upright position, we will have a few individuals like the mayor and the city manager, individuals from United Bridge Partners, say a few remarks. We'll do some photos and then we'll cut the ribbon. Yay. We'll have the bascules lower and then we'll do the first ride across the bridge. So we are super excited. Let's just, again, let's just hope Mother Nature works in our favor.
I'll have everything that can crossed for you guys. Fingers, toes, everything.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, of course. So that's great. And then obviously after the ceremonial procession across the bridge, it's open.
Correct. It's open. We have, we'll have to remove the remaining barricades and do that. So it may not be like minute to minute. So there will be a little bit of work that the crew is just going to wrap up after the ceremonial portion, but it will be open. So all of those that are out doing any last minute shopping, getting their groceries, heading to family and friends for the holidays, they'll be able to check out and try out the brand new and improved Liberty Bridge.
Yay, how exciting.
I know.
All right, so what is next for Bay City Bridge Partners now that the Liberty Bridge is going to be open?
So we'll be finishing a few of the aesthetic things on the Liberty Bridge just due to the weather. There'll be some of those that will linger into the early spring months, including any restoration around the construction site. So as the crews are working on that, myself as well as my team, we're transitioning to really still continue to focus on educating the community, whether it's residents or businesses. We just brought on a new account manager here a couple weeks ago. So he's been really busy working out to businesses who have fleets, getting those fleets of vehicles registered for their transponders. So still a lot to do in terms of getting the transponders out to everyone.
I know the educating part is a big component. And does that also include the tolling that is set to begin for Mid-Michigan residents?
Yes, so tolling is free for everyone. So we want everybody to get out and try the bridge. So it's free through the first quarter, so the end of March. Tolling will not start until April. But I encourage people to go to our website, baycitybridgepartners.com, register for your transponder. Don't wait until the end of March because there'll be a lot to do at that particular time if everyone waits, and we want to make sure transponders are in your hands when tolling starts. That's part of the delay of getting to where we're going to start charging tolling as well. So there will be a lot to do in the next several months, that's for sure.
I know you'll keep busy, that's for sure. And city commissioners approving language that's authorizing the rehab of Independence Bridge. Can you tell us a little bit about the change of plans from whole makeover to rather just rehabbing it?
Sure. you know, when people say it's just a rehab, you know, personally, I get a little frustrated with that.
Yeah.
Because it is not just a rehab. There is a lot of work that will go into the Independence Bridge, just like it was on Liberty Bridge. We will completely remove the deck. We'll put all new concrete in its place. We'll have new railings. The bridge tender house will be upgraded. But most importantly, like the electronics and the mechanical components that are within the bascule that, you know, the public doesn't see, will be all new electronics, all new control systems, the latest in bridge technology, new and refurbished mechanical components. So it will be a like new bridge. It is not just a rehab.
Right.
But I just wanted to, you know, say a few things as to how did we get from new to rehabilitation. You know, when we really looked at what was the major concern from the city, and it was scour, which scour is essentially erosion below the water line of the piers.
Right.
That was the main concern the city had a couple years ago. Bay City Bridge Partners has been funding and doing all of the operation and maintenance on both bridges for the last couple years, which has really given us an opportunity to get divers into the water, to do more inspections and really understand the current state of the piers, as well as, you know, the rest of the bridge itself. If you might recall, I think you guys did a story back in June this summer when we had some lane closures on Independence with some scupper trucks with people hanging in baskets, really doing a thorough inspection of the current state of the bridge. And with that, on top of like our current economic situation with inflation, you know, it really caused us to pause and say, does this need to be a rehab? And actually, it was the city's independent engineering team who first proposed looking at a rehab. So, you know, we took their information, all of the additional research that we've been able to do, and thought, let's pause and let's really look at what is best for the community. Because with the inflation, it means increased tolls. You know, the budget to do the rehab is directly tied to, you know, the recoup of that budget, which is through the tolling process. So we looked at, okay, that doesn't make the most sense. The bridge does not need to be new because the current state is not in, you know, as bad a shape as what it, as it was thought to have been. And then we looked at, like, there's many other benefits by not doing a new bridge. We don't have to put new piers in the water or remove the old. We're not disturbing any of the riverbed. We're not disturbing the natural wildlife within the river. There's a boat launch and a storm sewer on the northeast side of Independence Bridge. We're not encroaching on the boat launch. We're not interfering with that storm sewer. So when we really took a minute to look at the big picture and think, what is the best thing to do for the community? That's when we pivoted and said, you know, it makes sense to do the rehab. It's still like new. It's still a like new bridge. It's not just a rehab. So, the other thing, you know, with the new bridge, it was going to be off to the side, which means there would have been some S-curves on the approach. And again, they're safe, but when you think of like inclement weather, like we have coming up here, or even in distracted driving, you know, it just eliminates those concerns that would have brought along as well.
So Lynn, tell us a little bit the construction of Independence Bridge. Is there closures? What's that time frame?
So we're expected to get started here right after the first of the year. Our intent is to keep 2 lanes of traffic open. So we're planning to get started after the first of the year. It'll be a 2-year project. The project will be completed near the end of 2024, and we expect to have at least 2 lanes of traffic open. So traffic may be 1 lane on each side, depending on what we have going on. We'll be starting in the bascule portion. We really want to take advantage of the closure to maritime traffic on the river through January through March. So we'll be starting in the bascule portion with the electronics and the mechanical components. And I know the city is looking at doing some work on the intersections. So we're really collaborating with the city just to make this one big cohesive project as well.
All right, we're looking forward to it. Lots happening there in Bay City. And just before we go, for our viewers, the BC Pass, where do they go get that? And then just to, you know, what to expect for tolling in April and to get ready for it.
Yeah, so The transponders, you guys have heard me talk about transponders for the last few months, right? We are now calling it a BC Pass. So it will be branded a BC Pass. That's what you will see on our signage and in our marketing materials going forward. So people can go to BayCityBridgePartners.com, do the pre-registration. Our customer service center will be reaching out to all of those that pre-registered first. They'll be starting those activities here today through the next few weeks and getting all of the pre-registration people, their accounts created and getting transponders out to them. Our customer service center, it's finally in like the home stretch of getting us finalized on the rehab to the customer service center.
Okay.
And we're expected to move in there, I'd say probably the second week of January, second to third week. I think our furniture is being installed the second week of January. So once the customer service center is open, then people can come and see us. They can come in, walk into the customer service center and create their accounts and register and leave with their transponders at that point in time. And maybe I'll come back next month and kind of tell you all about, or maybe you can come see us at our customer service center.
Oh my gosh.
That would be great.
You know, I would love to do it either way. So this is exciting information
Yes.
and a lot of great information as well. So I hope you're taking notes at home. Lynn, thank you so much for coming in this morning. Is there anything else you would like to add?
I just wish you and all of the crew members here at WNEM TV5 a very safe, healthy, and happy holiday season, and enjoy making time or making memories with your family and friends.
Well, we appreciate that, and right back at you, Lynn.
Thank you, Blake.
Yes, of course. And if you want to find all this great information, make sure you go to our website in the Hunt Links section. That's at WNEM.com.